Hello, it's me Harley, back at it again for yet another video. And no, I'm not trying to look like your weird Aunt Sue who comes over occasionally bringing her favourite carrot recorders. I am trying my hardest to be cosplaying Sangwoo. Unfortunately, I have not got my jumper without the holes down the side because that is currently in the wash, so this is going to have to do. I am not one of these people who do good cosplays. It's just impossible for me to do so. I am not good with makeup, I am not good with hair, I am not good with anything. Although I try, I never end up looking like the characters I actually want to look like. So yes, this video is going to be on killing stalking. I'm doing this video today because a couple of weeks ago it was announced that Killing Stalking would be going on to its final hiatus before the finale. I'm only 2 weeks into this hiatus and already I want it to come to an end. I have been a big Killing Stalking fan since about chapter 10ish. I think it was chapter 10, give or take a chapter. And honestly, I absolutely adore the series. It's one of my favourite manhwas slash mangas. I usually put them under the same bracket because, yeah, I think a lot of people do. I just needed to do this video. I needed just to release some of my energy and actually tell somebody what some of my theories are and how it's going to progress, and just get rid of some of my excitement because I am having a mini breakdown because of this manhwa. So, where shall I begin? In fact, quite a funny story. One of my very good friends, one of my best friends, apparently, now I wasn't aware of this, I knew she'd watched anime before, but I didn't know she'd never read a manga before, and I introduced her to Killing Stalking. So thanks to me, one of my best friends' first ever mangas, manhwas, etc. was Killing Stalking. So I threw her into the deep end. Now then, just a little bit of a disclaimer. I do not consider myself a fujoshi, and I do not think of Killing Stalking as a yaoi or boy love manhwa. It's in my opinion not. The psychological and horror aspect is way too strong for it to be considered anything like a romance. Although I do occasionally read yaois and things, it's not for the boy love aspect of it. It's mainly, I've heard that it's got a good storyline, and just like with TV and movies and stuff, I wouldn't discriminate or not watch something because of the genre it's in. I am so glad I underestimated it. Boy, it is brutal. Boy, the characters are edgy. And I absolutely love them. And this is really questionable morally. Like, it's so hard knowing who to root for. Do you root for the police and justice and these really nice characters with the police force? Or do you support the psychopath and his victim? That's basically it. And I'm sorry, my favourite character is Sangwoo, and he's a psychopath. He's just like Stabby McGee over here, but I love him. I need to protect him. He's suffered so much thanks to his parents, and I'm sorry, as much as he's done horrible things, I still want him to get away with it. Now, I know that's most likely not going to happen, and I just want to express some of my theories that I think's going to happen. I'm one of these people who really reads into stories. Like, I can find deep meanings in stuff which there is no deep meaning. And yeah, these are a couple of my theories on the final chapters of Killing Stalking when they're going to be released. So if you aren't completely caught up, I'd advise you to not listen because there may be spoilers ahead. I'm pretty darn certain that Sang-woo is not going to die in this fire. Now, I have a couple of reasons why I believe this, but a big reason is because of the positioning of the hiatus. Now then, I knew that the finale was on its way. I knew that at some time soon it would be finished for good. My reasoning behind why I don't think the ending is really near and I don't think Sang-woo is going to die is because he is such a big character. He is one of the two main characters and he is a very, very beloved character even if he is a murderer. And if he was going to die in this fire, I don't think there would be more than a handful of chapters. And if that was the case, why would there be one final hiatus? Like, surely it would make more sense if there was only a small amount of chapters left to finish it off instead of having one last hiatus. So I do not think he's going to die in this fire. In fact, I think things are going to get much worse. It was made quite clear in the most recent couple of chapters that Sang-woo feels deeply betrayed by Yoonbum. Unfortunately, I have a feeling he'll be out for revenge. Now, I don't know with what way this is going to be, but I do not think there is going to be any happy ending for any of the characters. Kuki has made it quite obvious from day one that there is not really a chance of there being any form of happy ending. So, at best, I think the happy ending for Yoonbum would be for him to survive. Sang-woo in the last couple of chapters has shown a great interest in getting rid of him and killing him off and regrets for not doing it sooner. Another thing that I think will very likely happen is the police officer. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name. Sorry, I'm bad at pronouncing names and things. I'm already screwing up the names already, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to even try with him. It's like Sunbae? We'll just call him Officer Bay, because even though personally I wouldn't be interested in him, I know there's a lot of fangirls for him. So yeah, good old Officer Bay. I think he will most likely get framed for attempted murder, since he smashed the recording of essentially Sang-woo confessing to murder. In fact, it was him confessing to at least one murder. That I think the lighter will become a big deal. The lighter is metal, and I don't believe it's going to melt inside the fire, seeing as its job is to make fire in the first place. This lighter, we know is very, we know it's Officer Bay's, so I think there's going to be some way of twisting the story to make it look like he's just got this delusion and he's out for whatever revenge on Sang-woo and Yoonbum, and that this fire was a attempted murder. That's my theory. I think he might end up in prison. If not, dead by the hands of Sang-woo. One other thing that I have a feeling might happen is I think Sangwoo and Yoonbum will essentially die together. There's been heavy suggestion throughout the manhwa that they are going to be together till death do them part. That they have basically made pacts saying we are going to die together. And with the way things are going, as I said, I'm pretty certain Sangwoo wants to kill Yoonbum. So if that happens, I believe he'll be going out too. I have a feeling, now this is only a small feeling, but I've got it backed up with previous chapters that suggest that it might happen, that at the very least, the finale might be them at least attempting to somehow die together. Whether that be through Yoonbum being murdered and Sangwoo killing himself, or whether that be them killing each other in the process, or whether that be Yoonbum killing Sangwoo and then not being able to deal with that himself and killing himself, because we've seen him try to do it before. We know that he's attempted it on his life, and that is my theory. That's what I think's going to happen with Killing Stalking. I am so bloody hyped, and if anybody else has any suggestions on what they think's going to happen coming up, and they've got like, oh, did you notice this little bit from this chapter? I think this might happen. I would absolutely love to hear any other theories behind this disturbing story. Thank you for listening to my little bit of a rant and fangirl over Killing Stalking, and toodle pipple beans!